Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the webinar titled Attract and Convert Candidates into Employees. We are delighted to have you here today, and this is my privilege to serve you as a host and speaker. Hello, everybody. I am Jean-Baptiste Audrery from HR Horizon. Thank you for joining us today. This webinar will be held in English only, as we mentioned in our different invitations. But of course, you will be able to ask your questions in French through the Q&A, and I will translate for Rachel. Rachel is located in San Francisco, and we have the privilege to have her today with also Martin Matt and Alex Bouchard, two innovative entrepreneurs for this event. So if you want to open your camera, Rachel, and also Martin and Alex, we can say hello. I will introduce you in a few seconds. So we prepared for you, as usual, a very rich content and a lot of insights today with our experts for you that want to know more about attraction, talent attraction, and conversion. We wanted this event, 90 minutes webinar with a roundtable format to be sure that we have in a condensed moment a lot of value to our participants. And I wanted to also treat this subject because I have barely seen a webinar on attraction, talent attraction, and conversion. So we will talk today about CRO, conversion rate optimization, and also the different channels to attract candidates. Through this session, we have the pleasure of being joined by three outstanding specialists in this field. Joining us from iCIMS. I hope that participants know iCIMS, a very well-known ATS in the international ATS market. We have Rachel Morgan. Hello, Rachel. And we have also, additionally, we are honored to have two remarkable entrepreneurs with us. Martin Matt from Montreal, from Happy Here. It's a mobile application for mass recruiting and first-line workers. Hello, Martin. I don't see you, so probably you are online. I don't know if can you say a word? Martin, are you?
I'm there.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
good,
everyone.
good. I was afraid I lost you. Okay, good. And finally, we have also Alex Bouchard, co-founder and the president of V3 Stand Group. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Jean-Baptiste. Nice to be here.
Thank you for being with us. And Martin will share with us a lot of data and insights, and we will have a lot to discuss about AI. AI with Martin, Alex, and probably Rachel also. We will share a lot of ideas to attract and convert more your best candidates. So over the course of the next hour and a half, you will have the opportunity to delve into their expertise and gain valuable knowledge on a topic that has not been adequately addressed before. So sit back, relax, and we have a chat, we have a Q&A. So don't be afraid to ask your question through the event and to benefit from their expertise. We are here to share ideas, and I hope you will learn as much as I learned during the preparation of this webinar. So thank you for joining us today. So I'm Jean-Baptiste Audrery. I'm an organizational psychologist and working with HR Horizons for more than 5 years now. I'm a vice president consulting services at HR Horizons. And what we do, really briefly, what we do consulting, and we support clients to select and to identify the best technology for their strategy, IT and HRIS strategy. We are pleased also to introduce the CHRA continuous learning credits. So please note about the number that you need to inform, and you can utilize this code to earn your credits. So 5207. I would like to note and to mention also that we will send you this presentation at the end of the event. So you will receive the PDF document. We have two versions. One is in French and half French, half English for different parts. And also you will have the full version in English in PDF. So you just have to wait this afternoon. We will send you a follow-up email with a survey, satisfaction survey, and we would like to have your feedback and your questions also during this survey. Thank you for answering the question. So I introduced HR Horizons. For some of you, probably you know our HRIS, HR payroll, and time management, time absences, and talent management landscape. This is the version, the 7th edition, and you will be able to download it within the document, within the PDF document. You have the link, and you are able to click on it, and it will direct you to our website in the toolbox section, and you will be able to download it. You have a lot of information there, and we are pleased to share this information, market information for you. So this is the 7th event we have organized this year. It's before summer, it's the last one, and we are really really pleased to have this one. We prepared this months ago, and next month, from September to December, we will organize 4 other events. So stay tuned. We will send you more information and mark it on your calendar. So we are ready to start. Do not hesitate. I mention it again. If you have some questions, Q&A, send us the questions, and it will be a pleasure to answer. When they do the presentation, if required, I will translate it to Rachel. If you want to ask your question in French, no problem at all. So let us know. So what are our objectives today for this webinar? The first one is to talk about attraction, the different channels we can use to and also to optimize to attract candidates. And we will deal also with the one-off positions recruiting process and also the mass recruiting. It's why we invited also Happy here for first-line workers. It's a mass recruiting process and how we can automate that, but also how we can maximize the engagement, candidate engagement through the process. And the second objective I will cover is how we can convert and how we can also deal with specific challenges we have in the conversion rate. It's why we created this webinar. What are the different tactics we can use, and what we can do to maximize the conversion rate with your candidates. You invest a lot, but if you lose them, this is a problem. And the objective number 3 is to be inspired by our three guests today, and to discover what they think, how do they solve the problems, how do they see the different elements and the candidate journey, and how to optimize it. And finally, we would like also to discuss a lot of insights and analytics, and what are the key elements you can improve and follow, and what is possible for you, and how you can improve what you have right now with your technology or with new technology. And this is the objective of this event. So I would like to start with few statements and important remarks at the beginning. So I have a first image that is really important for me. This one is you see a client or a customer using e-commerce platforms, and we know that now recruiting is turning into an e-commerce platform. I know it's shocking a little bit because candidates are not customers, but customers looks a little bit like candidates or candidates like customers. And what we see in the past 5 years, significant transformations, largely driven by advancement in e-commerce platforms, have inspired recruiting platforms. So what we understand now, it's if you want to attract, if you want to engage, if you want also to reduce drop-off, you need to have technology like e-commerce platform. For instance, if they go to the cart or if they are ready to apply, maybe you can send a gentle reminder or a gentle notification to be sure that they click on the button. Or we need also to have a really clear call to action on your candidate platforms or your career pages. And it's all about mobile. It's all about a fluid experience, easy to understand for everyone. And the easier, the better. So it's mobile first. And it's really, really a challenge. You have to go through the candidate journey to see the path and to see how you can improve it. The second statement is based on omni-channels. We have so many channels at the same time now. It could be the classic one. It could be your job boards, but it could be also referral programs. It could be an event. It could be content marketing. It could be also in your stores, or it could be also through your marketing and ads. So we have to manage multiple and omni-channel marketing and recruiting. So we have to be inspired by marketing, and we see a lot of recruiting teams that are including the communication and marketing teams. So they try to work together, or most advanced recruiting team have a marketing specialist working for recruiting directly and managing omni-channel campaigns and omni-channels also indicators. And we know that everything should be mobile. Your customers are mobile and they use SMS, they use WhatsApp. Are you missing something there? Are you missing some candidates? Are you missing speed, for instance, with SMS in their pocket? We know that this is the big shift, and the behaviors of your candidates are there now in SMS, WhatsApp, or maybe Telegram, I don't know, so you can see what is coming there. So you need the technology. You need to see what is possible there for leveraging this huge potential on your talent pools. And also, we know that the outbound recruiting, everything that will interrupt your visitors or your passive candidates, because they see an ad or they see something in the street or in the store or in different platforms or screens, it's outbound. You will interrupt their journey and they will, oh my God, there is something there, there is an ad. Or so you try to have their attention. And it's a question of seconds, because attention, we have a deficit of attention, and we are dealing with attention, with your passive candidates' attention. So we need to be at different steps where they are. And finally, also, it's a complex world. So we need to be with a lot of inbound recruiting. It's something that is really present now in a best-in-class recruiting team. We need to be present on the web, present on search engine, SEO, and we need to have content marketing that is relevant. All your candidates are looking for interesting content that are relevant to them. So what are the different group of candidates? What do they need to read to be convinced, to be informed, to be interested in? And also we know that all your events, everything that you will organize will be making your employer branding alive and being sure that you are present where they are, and to make them aware of that you exist and making them interested in your positions and your culture. We need to develop also nurturing campaigns and so many options. So that's why it's sometimes complex and demanding. You don't need to do everything. That's a good news. You need to focus on what you should do, because your candidates will be sensitive or will be captivated by one channel more than another one. So that's the idea. Be aware of what exists and choose the best one regarding the different groups of your candidates. They don't have the same behavior. They don't have the same path, and you should be a strategist, marketing strategist for that. I would like to share also with you the 8 tactics. Probably some people who know me will recognize something I presented years ago in different places, but this is still relevant. So I bring it to you there. First, we need to make attraction. That's what we want to do. So we have 3 different tactics there. We want to augment our reach, and we want to generate traffic, right? So we use, the first one is content and event marketing, and we try to maximize and to optimize the SEO. Rachel will share with us how we can do that also, and our CEO with different platforms, ATS, will support you through this process. And the second one is employee advocacy. We know that relevant content is good, but word to mouth is keen, and it's king, and it's really, really important because it brings trust, it brings also engagement, and it's a multiplier. So if you didn't leverage this lever and this trigger to reach your candidates, it should be a priority for you during the next year. And some recruiting teams are using more and more programmatic ads to be sure that you broadcast and you interrupt the path of your passive candidates. And this is also another technology and also another channel to open and to manage and to monitor. We want to capture, because you generate traffic, right? So the second part is we want to capture. We need to go directly to the candidates. So we will do web and social sourcing. Alex will talk about Stant.io that he is using. This is a social sourcing, web and social sourcing tool. Probably you know it, but this is one of the tactic when you have really specific, and with also a talent shortage in certain groups of candidates. This is one of the tactics, more proactive tactics you may use. So it's also a really great tool. You need to learn about it. You need to try it. You need to go further, but it's a really relevant tactic for some companies. The referral programs. So we discussed about employee advocacy, and referral programs are based on people who will bring you candidates. You probably have leveraged this solution and these tactics. And also on the strategy number 6, targeting and retargeting. This is the child of programmatic ads. If a candidate has visited your website or landing page, or every marketing web marketing asset that you have, you will be able to retarget your candidates and just to refresh their mind and their memory about the campaign or about an event. So you will maximize also your campaigns and also the traffic you will generate. Finally, we have also live chat and chatbots, how you can create directive interactions on your website, really great. I have seen few clients using it, still waiting for a better interaction system, and probably with AI chat systems coming up this year, maybe it will be a game changer in the next months. And the 8th one is a candidate relationship management. So when we have captured, we have a talent pool, a lot of contacts, a lot of candidates. We have an asset there, informative asset, and then we will want to create personal relationship and to do follow-ups. We want to create engagement, and we want to have also social link and social connection. So it's always important. So that's the 8 different tactics for attraction. And then when you have ATS, you will manage the candidacy, you will manage the process. This is a traditional piece of technology that you use. This is acquisition. So what you see there is we have 8 tactics that you need to use before you generate candidates, active candidates within your systems. So that's a summary. I don't go deeper on there, just to give you a reminder. And then we are working on after attraction, we want to work on the CRO. We have 3 challenges. Low open rate. You probably send alerts. You probably send newsletter. You probably send also some interesting job postings, and they don't subscribe. They don't apply, or they don't follow up. So that's challenging. So the design is really important, but also many aspects of your website, of your job descriptions, and the experience and the flow. The drop-off is also really important, and we want, with the conversion rate optimization, to increase the percentage of website visitors or users who take a desired action, such as making a purchase, submitting a form, or becoming a customer. That's what is customer conversion rate optimization. And I have seen few clients trying to measure CRO or working on CRO. While it's really important, it's key today because it costs a lot to have this traffic. So that's the challenges. And now I have 3 images really quickly. The first one is a gas factory. it's complicated. You lose candidates because they don't understand, they don't know where they are, and it's complex pipes. Are you there? Do you think you are there? Do you think you offer this experience to your candidates? That's an issue. We have leaks because you gained some candidates or some visitors, but you are losing them. And the last one is the most important part for me. It's a greenhouse. So the greenhouse, how do you attract them? So you will attract them because you will offer them a thriving environment. They can learn, they can be themselves, and they can feel they are themselves. So remove barriers. We know that 60% of candidates are doing their search, and they apply exclusively on mobile. Are you mobile? Is it easy? Is it easy to find the apply button? Is it easy to see also, do you have pay transparency? That's a big factor. If they don't see it, they will probably lose your website really quickly and they find it complex. The other part is also the abandonment rate, the drop-off rate. The last number that I have seen, it's 80%. On my personal research, I have seen more 84% or 90% are not clicking and being a candidate with the apply button. This is huge. You are losing a lot of candidates. And finally, it's really important. I put the greenhouse because it's also green. And we know that candidates are looking for something that is meaningful for them, and more specifically with a human-centric culture and also clear commitments on the corporate social responsibility. They are really sensitive to this. So we remove barriers, we try to work on the leaks, and we offer a greenhouse where they can flourish and they can be themselves. Finally, I would like to add that artificial intelligence is at a tipping point right now. I can predict that probably next, before Christmas, you will have a lot of, probably most of the solutions in the market will offer some services, AI services into their system, and you will be able to do all of this. Optimize your content, maybe write some blog post, or maybe generate, I don't know, a podcast that will interest some candidates, or quickly answer all the questions they have and interact faster and with a more personalized way. We have some issues, we have some limitations, but I can predict that it will be a big wave, and Alex will share more information about that because he has some elements. I will go really fast because I want to hear from our guest today. So we will I'm just presenting the talent management solution landscape for talent management. So today we will cover this part. We have talent attraction, and so you will see the different vendors there. Reference and sourcing, also references and sourcing, and matching. We have different vendors, and I will show you with the next slides the different research. For the last 6 months, we had a lot of movement there. Some companies bought from others, and then new logos. So this is for candidate relationship management. If you want to enhance your ATS, it's always good to have really interesting candidate relationship management that will allow you to do the different tactics and to be a conversion machine. That's what we want to see. So you have different vendors there, CRM leading solutions on the top, and also talent acquisition suite. It's an ATS and CRM. You have all the logos, and you see iCIMS, that is one of the leaders in this market for years now, working on this for also for global companies and really large medium companies. I talked about sourcing, social and web sourcing, and also employee advocacy or social advocacy. A lot of solutions I've evolved in the last years, and I made a quick research, and I present to you candidate sourcing systems available in the market, and you will find a stand there. So it's a Canadian and Quebecer company. Really proud of it. And social and employee advocacy, you find also V3 stand, powered by Stand AI, and you have also different platforms. So I don't talk about employee advocacy more because Alex will share with you this element, but social advocacy is the fact that your employees are sharing news and also your job posting, and are a multiplier factor and an engaging factor, because we know that we trust real people more than brand. So it's always good to look at that to amplify your campaigns. And finally, it's also important for your mass recruiting. So we have a new segment there. Happy Year is not new, and we have presented Happy Year 4 years now, and it's evolving. And now the market, you probably created the market, Martin, I don't know, but you are one representative of this proud market and growing market. And what we see, it's really different. You have different logo there. If you are looking for mass recruiting or frontline workers recruiting or blue collars recruiting anyway, you will see different vendors with different models, completely different approaches, but most of them are using AI in different ways. So be aware that it depends on what you are looking for, and the value is completely different. And finally, we have also multiple site, multiple brand vendors doing also the same decentralized recruiting approach, which is also a new segment, really, really interesting also in the market. I would like to know if you have any questions at this step. Is there comments, questions before we go to Rachel and iCIMS? No? And guys, if you want to share ideas or comments at this step, Rachel, Martin, and Alex, do not hesitate. It will be a pleasure. So I told you that iCIMS is a leading provider of applicant tracking system and candidate relationship management. So I would like to share the mic to Rachel, and please introduce us to your point of view about attraction and conversion. I will share with you the remotes, and it's a pleasure to listen to you, Rachel.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so hi, I'm Rachel Morgan. I am out of San Francisco, and I have been in the space for about 10 years, and just specifically marketing for HR tech. So it's been a great ride. I live with my dog in San Francisco, and I love karaoke, trivia, and crafting. So that's a little bit about me. And okay, there we go. So I am thrilled to be here. I'm going to talk about the present and future innovations of talent attraction technology today. And I've already given you an intro, but if you wanted to add me on LinkedIn, you can do so as well.
Yes, please connect to Rachel.
Sorry?
Do not hesitate. Yeah, I invite participants to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Great. So I've been studying recruiters for a decade in recruiting market, and truly there's never been a better time for recruiters and sourcers to excel at recruitment marketing, which is great because sourcing and proactive recruiting is so crucial, and organizations cannot afford to be reactive or anything like that when it comes to hiring. 89% of passive job seekers and 84% of active job seekers say they want to get to know an organization well ahead of even applying to the job. So if you're not getting ahead of that and nurturing people in your database with information about your organization or anything like that, you're unknowingly missing out on fantastic applicants. Despite its importance, 60% of TA teams don't have enough resources to even execute their plans at all. And time is scarce too. 700 hours per year are spent on manual tasks, and that's absolutely a wild amount. And one of the reasons why people aren't executing on these plans is that their technology is just lacking insight overall. So a recruiter or sourcer might find a candidate, get them to join the talent pool, send an email, then what? They don't know how interested they are, what they've even viewed, what content they've interacted with, or how close they are to being ready to apply to a new job. So if you source someone and they actually apply and get the job, what happens after they onboard? Do you know their career interests or anything? How do you know who internally is ready to make a career move? With most TA technology, you just don't. So now we've moved into a more advanced era when it comes to recruitment marketing, which is why I say there's never been a better time. Gone are the days of recruiters doing cold calls and emails to recruiters, to people they have no insight about. And it all starts with this strong career site experience to get applicants through the door with that personalized branding and compelling experiences in that first touch. And with marketing automation technology, they're going to have a list of candidates that are ready to be engaged and an explanation as to what they're actually interested in, what content they liked. Plus, they'll have content to enhance the campaigns and career site like embedded videos that's really more authentic and shows what it's actually like to work there and less, corporate speak. And this all leads to this very comprehensive, continuous talent engagement strategy, which is really the cutting edge. And that gives candidates context on your brand to encourage them to eventually apply. And what's more is that this continuous talent engagement strategy is all backed by data. So as you can see here with the point system on the circular area here, you should know the lead score for each candidate based on individual actions, like viewing a YouTube video or looking at the job description. So to power this continuous talent engagement strategy and eventually convert top talent, you'll need a career site that reflects the needs and wants of your target candidates. You'll need a scalable way to move people through the top of the funnel all the way to the apply process, which means automation is definitely key. And you'll do video touch points at various parts of the journey so that you can give this authentic and compelling experience that we've talked about in the previous slide. So we at iCIMS have taken upon ourselves to put those proven methods into the hands of recruiters and sourcers everywhere. Many vendors say that they can create the scalable experience and personalize the talent journey, but they're actually missing key components of what candidates want as part of their experience and what they've come to expect. So with iCIMS, through career site channels, chatbot, text, campaigns, and video content, as you see at the top, your teams actually will have the tools talent expects and allows you to scale the use of these solutions. And the career site is often the face of your employer brand for active candidates. So let's start there and let's dig in a little bit more. With iCIMS, you can make changes to your career site in minutes without any support team intervention or with limited intervention. So you can stay ahead of any shifting priorities and seasonal changes that you might want to make without having to go back and forth with tickets or get engineers involved. And you can also allow candidates to easily identify jobs that fit their skills and experience using our Talent Cloud AI. It's powered by deep learning for better accuracy, and we use multiple algorithms to promote that accuracy. And plus, the AI job matching can help reduce bias, so you can quickly build a more diverse and qualified pipeline, which is fantastic. And you don't even have to actively do anything, it's on the career site.
So does it mean, Rachel, that you automate A/B testing and you can identify the best journey and the best experience they can have and the best content?
You can't necessarily automate the A/B testing, but you can do A/B testing on different pages as you, can easily duplicate pages and create different journeys. And then with our analytics, see what has been done or what has the better results. Yeah. And that's the going to the next point, reviewing the detailed career site analytics that help you quantify the effects that your efforts have on your employer brand perception and really any conversion, landing page engagement. So that employer brand extends way beyond the words or images on a career site, right? So video is now an expected medium with which brands communicate to candidates. So the workforce has come to know video and stay really familiar with it. And so you want to provide them with things that they're familiar with and what they're comfortable with and what they actually want to view rather than reading a lot of text. So however, some organizations shy away from video, worrying it'll be too much work and high cost and just a lot of headache and stress. But unlike other complicated, like more expensive approaches, iSIM's Video Studio makes it simple and cost effective to provide employee generated videos that humanize your brand and help you build a winning workforce. So you can automatically add like day in the life videos, which is like employer generated videos by role. So candidates can, oh, sorry about that. Thank you. So candidates can get a sense of the culture of their prospective team, helping to boost interest up front and extend the reach of campaigns by adding videos to emails. And oh, can you go back one?
Sorry.
Thank you. Adding videos to emails, landing pages, and the career site. So you can even add videos to your chatbot or linked from a text message campaign so that communications are omni-channel, giving candidates content they actually care about. And we'll go into a specific example. So Uber wanted to attract a more diverse range of talent, so they decided to level up their career site to show job seekers what it's actually like to work for them. So using iSIM's Video Studio, employees from Uber began recording videos for their university career site and job description pages, and this helped them to drive really, really strong brand awareness and traffic to Uber's career site, which ultimately, can help with conversion. And there weren't, not only were they able to increase the time someone would spend on their job descriptions to 14.3%, but they also increased the number of page views by 21.7% using Video Studio after using Video Studio. So that just shows that there's an opportunity there to give your employees a voice and showcase your culture and how lasting of an impact that has. And you can easily change that on your career site without having to, individually upload. It's a really automated process.
So it looks like a TikTok platform, right? So we have short videos, interesting. So they stay on the pages, they look, it's engagement, candidate engagement, because they are curious, they want to know more. And this is testimony, right? We see candidates with some testimony.
Yeah, you can do testimonials. You can also have like hiring managers talking about the role. You can have people even helping with the application process. You can use these videos for a lot of different use cases. Actually, we have a customer that is using it for internal benefits, promoting internal benefits even to employees, or technical help. You can screen share from this, and so that can really assist people in even training videos, right? So it's just a fast and easy way to post and send videos. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go into iSIM's marketing automation, and that is the newest technology to the scene, full self-service recruitment marketing software. So it's the only recruitment marketing solution that can tell recruiters and sourcers which candidates are cold, warm, or hire ready, meaning they're interested and they have the qualifications necessary. Also, automated campaigns and if-then conditions help optimize recruitment marketing campaigns for each unique candidate automatically based on those scores that they might have. For example, they attended an event, that might be 5 points. They clicked on an email, that might be 1 point. So it varies and it increases the score based on if they interact or not. And plus, recruiters and sourcers have a connection to 200 job boards to keep those pipelines fresh, keep them flowing, so that you never have any stale database or pipelines. So it's never been easier to create relevant follow-ups without any extra manual work or any brain power, really. It's like, set it up, it's self-driving, it will run effortlessly and effectively once you get that set up as recruiting teams go about their day. Oops, sorry, let me go back.
Sorry.
All right. And this newer technology has already been proven time and time again. So we acquired a company called Candidate ID, and that is now iCIMS Marketing Automation. And, you know, currently we have customers that have signed on since then, and, you know, customers from Candidate ID. And it's just, we have these fantastic stories, and I'll highlight one in particular, a company called Helios. So with a move to a new ATS, they are an online mental health provider. Helios had a pre-existing database of candidates so that they wanted to re-engage them. They really just had this kind of stale database of people that were either not interested or they just didn't know how interested they were. So using iCIMS Marketing Automation, they ran 2 separate campaigns to drive candidate awareness and refresh the talent pool. One was for tech and product candidates, and the other was targeted to professionals within the clinical healthcare sector. So with marketing automation, Helios has been able to build an engaged pipeline of highly in-demand talent. All in all, they turned that database of over 6,000 candidates into a defined pipeline of top talent. And then from there, they saw an average open rate of 66%, which is wild. That's huge for email open rates. And so usually it's around 20% industry average. And they also nurtured 35% from the healthcare campaign and 50% from the tech campaign, to the point of being hire ready. Like I mentioned, qualified and ready to apply. So I wanted to invite you all, if you're interested in marketing automation, you can scan this code. I'll give you a second to do that. And you can watch the demo today by filling out a form.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And what do you see in terms of conversion? Do you see that videos will be the norm tomorrow? Maybe some more comprehensive experience from A to Z instead of having a lot of text, some videos that are explaining the culture. And do you see it will be the future, or do you think it will be more like a text base with a lot of text? Because sometimes reference by search engine are really great with text, but sometimes video are really good way to be on the top of the page of Google or Bing. So what do you see, and what will be the future for you on what is your opinion on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, it's going to be a combination of both, I believe. So, you know, with SEO, you want to optimize for that. And you also want to provide these visuals that are going to appeal to all generations. And so also we want to appeal to people who learn differently. And so there's a lot more conversation now about neurodivergence, people on the autism spectrum, ADHD. I'm a neurodivergent person myself. And it's important to provide both text, video, images, any way that you can to appeal to a wide range of job seekers and get diverse candidates.
Interesting.
Yeah, and video is really just the way of the future. And soon it'll just become part of people's strategy. It's not going to be this cutting edge technology, in my opinion. So it will really just be across the board. And so I invite people to jump on that train right now, because you can still outdo your talent competitors by being ahead of the curve.
Good. Perfect. Thank you for this these insights and your point of view also on the conversion and the attraction. Really interesting to see that it could be dynamic, you know, the content and the visits and the based on their behavior, what they like. When we have a lot of candidates, it's always complex to manage multiple processes and to be sure that we interest multiple groups of candidates. So that's a good way to have a large engagement with different candidates. Really nice. Thank you, Rachel. And so I give the mic to Martin. Martin, would you like to introduce yourself briefly and then introduce also people to are happy here and what you do? I will give you the control right now. So if you accept it, you will have the control.
Thank you, Jean-Baptiste. Hello, everyone. So thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about what we've learned in the RD market. So Martin Matt, I'm one of the co-founder of Appier, been in HR for more than 25 years and been in the working at Appier since the beginning and continuing the journey of helping job seeker in the RD market and recruiter improve their life and improve their day-to-day. So I don't think, okay, perfect. So what is Appier? Appier is end-to-end solution for the recruitment of hourly employees. So we attract, recruit, convert high volume hourly candidate into hire. We provide speed, visibility, predictability, sustainability into your recruitment process. So get to apply to get scheduled interview in 90 seconds. So that's what we talk about speed. Or verified record from applying to get an offer get a job offer is 40 minutes. On average, our customer is 24 hours. And right now we have a customer that their total cycle time from applying, get interview, pre-screen, background check, and schedule for the first shift in 6 hours. So when we talk about the hourly market, the RD market is very, very different than a white collar. Okay, so if you can move to the next slide. Okay, so let me show you why it's different, the RD market. The first thing is that you're not buying a candidate, you're buying a moment of attention. Okay, the attention span of a candidate, it's hours, not days. Often they won't remember applying for you the next day. Okay, so you're buying a moment attention and speed is key. And what the data show us is that speed is more important than your employee brand. Okay, it's not that your employee brand is not important. It's important. There's two major benefits. The first benefit from your point of view is it will reduce your cost of attraction. And also it will help in terms of later in the employee life. If you have a good employee brand, it will help you. But for the candidates in the RD market, they don't look at a job as us white collar.
It's commodity, right?
Yes. So the other thing is the hourly market. We're doing attraction campaign across North America, and there it's different per location, it's different per industry, it's different by type of job. It's highly localized, okay? Ranging from some region, there's too many candidates, to some region, there's no candidate for certain position. So it's very, very different. The other element is there's no resume. The resume in the RD market is a friction and is a relic of the past, okay? So give you an example, you have around almost 30% of the young American between 18 to 29, they don't own a computer. Their computer is their phone. So just try to apply to one of your position, and if you require a resume and the candidate doesn't have a resume, doesn't own a computer, so do you think you will apply to your position?
I would like to have some comments from the participants and what do they think about resume and what you just share. So please give your comments on the Q&A. It will be interesting to hear from you.
Also, what I'm telling you is for the RD market, blue collar. Okay, it's not for the white collar. The other element, the job for the job seeker. Sorry for some folks if you are hurt by that, but your job is a commodity for them. Okay, there's three main reasons why someone will apply: the salary, the location, and the schedule. Okay, even we have some of our customers have some of the best brand, they're still struggling because the schedule doesn't fit, the location is not good, or the salary is not good. And the candidate will arbitrage between a lower salary but a good schedule and great flexibility. So you need to have that insight to promote your position to what is important for the job seeker. Okay, the end-to-end visibility is key. You need to be able to see who is applying to your job. Do they click to apply? What is your click to apply? Because your click to apply will vary per channel, will vary per job, per location. That's from one of our customer, just give you an element. That customer, for that job, you need to work Saturday and Sundays and work at -28. So there's candidates that are interested to doing that. But that candidate is interesting for a lot of other positions also, for other companies. So the speed you can do all that process. So give you an example, for that customer, the cycle time varies between 24 to 48 hours from applying to getting a job offer. What is really important also is you need to collect the insight to be able to know what are the roadblocks for the candidate. Is it the salary? Is it the public transportation? Does your location is at the right for that kind of candidate? It's a right place for the right candidate. Yeah. Is it easy to commute? That's the reason that and the element that a candidate will look for.
Yeah, or not far from the daycare, or not far from the daycare.
yeah, that kind of element. The other thing is that where, in a way, when you said it's like e-com, recruiting is becoming like e-com, because with data, at some point, we're able to predict how many hiring you should have done based on all the market condition, your location, your salary. So the market is moving to a lot more predictability. So to be able to get that predictability, you need to be able to collect the data. The other element, so I will show you an ad experiment that we've done with one of our customers. Okay, so the day that someone in HR was writing and doing everything, you cannot compete with a machine, because I will show you that it's fully automated. Okay, it's backed, it's fully automated. And so the type of channel, the headline, the picture you use, the call to action, the testimonial. One thing I can tell you, employee testimonial, you need to have that because it convert more candidate. Okay, they want to see. And give you an example, one of our customer, in terms of quality of video, is not very good, but it was done by the site supervisor, and it was one of the video that converted the most candidate that we've to all our customers. So to give you an example, that's the example. So where in that case, we test everything, but in that specific test that we've done, fully automated, we tested that phrase. And we're able to see how many candidate you will get more candidate. And the next step is those candidates, are you able to convert them not only in terms of candidate, but also in terms of hires, and also to the point, do they stay longer? Do they stay and the performance are better? We are able to integrate with your HRMS system. So that's an example. So where the market is going, when we say it's e-commerce, we're not reinventing anything. We're just learning from the e-commerce space and applying those tools, technology, and approach to recruiting.
And the difference is huge, right? For one little design changes, it's amazing the impact. And that's the same in e-commerce. We know that, and the videos are king, as we should, as we say it. So that's impressive.
So give you an example. In that campaign, we've used TikTok videos, and I remember when we saw the first TikTok, we say, "Oh, the customer, it's really TikTok type," but in terms of costs and conversion rate, beat everything in terms of Google, their website, and other channels. Okay. So that's really interesting. That's some market data. We're talking about a couple of 100,000 of application. Okay, just give you an example. I'm always surprised because what we are doing when we're meeting a new customer, we always apply to their jobs. Okay, and it's amazing when twice we've were able to tell the customer that their site was down twice. Okay. So it's amazing when some people don't know the experience that the candidate went through. So for example, if it takes more than 2 minutes to apply, it will cost you a lot in terms of candidate. The other thing, 80% of the candidate who will apply in the hourly space will apply and search a job in their mobile. So if it's not mobile optimized, you will lose a lot of candidate. The other thing is the candidate, they want to know how long it will take to apply. Because we're doing a lot of focus group with job seeker, and it's amazing when you apply to 5-6 jobs and it took you an hour, you think they will continue to apply? No, they stop.
No.
The other thing is that that's an American study, 90% of the candidates will drop off. When some of our customers, when they're fully optimized, the drop-off rate is below 40. Okay, so that has a huge impact in their budget and the cost of attraction.
Yeah.
The other element, it's amazing. One of the biggest frustration of job seeker, they have no news what's happening. And right now, it's so easy in a way to nurture candidate through technology, through conversational AI, that kind of stuff. It's really, really important. If you don't have that, you're losing, and will impact your employee brand. Because the data show us is when a candidate is receiving news, because we're measuring that, we see that they have a biggest chance they will increase the sharing of the position in their natural network, even when they're not moving to the next stage. Okay, they will think about someone. So it has a huge impact on your employee brand, and it has a huge impact in your ability to attract free candidates. Okay, the ghosting. It's a major problem in the hourly space. Okay. What the data showed us, what's amazing, it's 7.5% of all the ghost interview are caused by the recruiter. Okay. And I'm telling you, that's
Really?
the number.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's the number for 2022. Give you in 2021, it was 6%. And ghosting from a candidate, from a recruiter, is they either forgot that they have an interview, they don't show up, or they're showing up 5 minutes late. We see a candidate will wait no later than 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, if you're not there for a video interview talking, the candidate drop off. And it's really difficult to rehook him, reconvert him after that. Okay. And when we talk to recruiter, they just forgot, they had something else, they got distracted. By the end of the day, I was with a customer last week, we told that one of his team members cost him last month almost $5,000. They spent during campaign. It was costing around, I will say, $300 to bring someone to an interview. Didn't show up for a lot of interviews. So almost 15. The other element is, what's really interesting is when you're doing a campaign, the ghost rate of what we call cold candidate, is a candidate that, let's say, he's on Facebook, you go to TikTok, you see your job posting, you apply, pre-screen, go interview, is ghosting rate is 40% higher than a candidate, let's say, they apply in retail, for example, into your store using a QR code or tap to apply, or going to your website. Okay, so that's an extra cost of doing campaign. One thing that I found really amazing is that, we have some customer that at the beginning, their ghosting rate was from candidate 40, 50, even 60%. And when we talk to candidate, they have no clue the impact that it has. For them, they just forgot. They found another job. For them, they don't see the importance of showing up. Okay. On the other hand, they have been ghosted by recruiters. So for them, they don't care. So it's amazing that that market is really inefficient. So a couple of examples what you could use to improve your conversion rate. One element is often we tell the recruiter, are you available when the candidate is available to the interview, or are you available for 9 to 5? Okay, and especially in the hourly market, you're recruiting for weekend job, you're recruiting for evening and night shift. So what we've give you one example, one customer where one of our recruiters working 10 hours, doing 10 hours of interview. So it's 3 interview per hours. He hired more employees than the in-house recruiter. Why? Because he was available when the candidates are available. So it was around supper time, early in the morning, not the working hours of a recruiter. Okay, that's a huge impact in terms of your ability to convert and reduce the cost.
So that's interesting because you need first, in terms of best practice, first book recruiters a little bit in advance to be sure that they are on time. And second, be sure that they work with a shift that is a little bit different. So you can have a job interview during the evening or on Saturday, for instance. It's best practice. So that's interesting, and you will get tractions there. So it's simple, but it will have an impact.
Yes. The other thing is a frictionless application process. Do an exercise, go and count the number of clicks from, let's say, your website. The first you arrive on a website to finish your application process. Okay, and every click you lose candidates. So usually the best practice is to have 5 to 6 clicks max. Okay, we have some customer, it's in the upper 70s or 80 click.
Yeah, and with a progression bar, if possible, with a progression bar, that where they know exactly the steps, so they are more engaged to finish, right?
Yeah, and to give you an example, if someone already have the app, is from the time that he will apply, for the time he gets pre-screened and scheduled interview. If he doesn't have the app, in our case, it's 90 seconds. If you already have the app, depending on your number of questions you ask, it's 20 seconds. Okay, so that's where the market is going. The other element, very interesting, is the speed of your hiring cycle. And in that case, hiring cycle is from the candidate applying to get their schedule for the first shift. Okay, so the hourly market, now we're not talking about days, we're talking about hours. Okay, so give you an example. If you're after 24 hours from applying and the process, you'll reduce your number of hours by 2%. But every hour after that, it's exponential. So I stop at 96 hours, you have 16% less hires. That's really important. Speed provide insight, provide you with the ability to convert and reduce your cost of hiring. Okay, we'll quickly go into that. The job market.
You have 4 minutes, right?
Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I'm going really fast to make
we are
sure
all passionate about that. We are all passionate.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's a view you're able to see per, let's say in that case, that's stores per store, the applicant, their salary expectation, if they want to work, what type of schedule they want to work. What we are overlaying it also with time is, okay, for the candidate that successfully applied for you, there's other candidate in that market that didn't apply, but what are they looking for? And sometimes we find really little gems in the sense that, hey, in that market, there's less people wanted to work on evening shift. For example, Quebec City is one of the lowest in North America. Okay. So what is really interesting with that, okay, that kind of data is we'll be able to know after a couple of months how many candidates want to work evening shift, day shift, weekend, at what salary. And what we have discussion with some of our customers is that, hey, does the candidate you're looking for exist? Because in some market, what you're looking for doesn't exist. So give you one example we've done in manufacturing with one of our customer is one of the change post-pandemic is that we're seeing more companies doing manufacturing looking at part-time jobs. Okay, so through the market data, we're able to tell them that there's a niche of candidates that want to work only on Saturdays. Because of the inflation, they're looking for a second job. So they were able to sit down with the union, create a new position only for the weekend, reduce the overtime of the. So that's in terms of value, what you can bring to your organization is using data and also leveraging the data to improve your practices and offering to the candidate. So we'll stop there. Could talk about hours about that, but thank you very much.
We know, but well, if our participants and attendees would like to have more details about really interesting insights you provided, they have to contact you. And thank you for all this information. It's something that we know a little bit, we see it, but when you have some real numbers, it's a shock. So we know exactly where to work. Thank you for that, Martin. And we will go to Alex. Alex, I will share with you. We are competing with a mouse. Thank you. I will share with you. I don't know who was. I think it's you. I want to share. You are doing okay. So Alex, would you like to thank you, introduce yourself and explain your point of view and give us also interesting news and insights?
Yeah, so we're leaving
control.
Yeah, thank you. I'll wait for the share, but anyways, just to introduce myself for a little bit here. I'm Alex Bouchard. I worked in HR and recruitment for a number of years. Last job was at a small company named Apple. And over the last 10 years, I've been a digital B2B LinkedIn strategist and digital strategist and helping companies bolster their brand awareness and their employer branding on LinkedIn, mostly because 80.33% of opportunities in B2B in social media come from LinkedIn and also other digital methods. And over the last few years, several years, 6 years in the making, we've been working on a platform called Stent. And what Stent is an AI-driven HR sourcing referral 2.0. So I'll get to talk about referral programs and the importance of them within a sourcing structure, and also an employer branding platform. So if we look at the situation right now, most experts say that the labor shortage crisis will last at least until 2031. So we might have heard about a few specific job cuts lately, but if you look at the general unemployment rate, it's been pretty steady in most North American countries and Europe. So there's still a lot of job positions that are open, hundreds of thousands in Canada alone. 50% of active workers are actually thinking about switching their jobs. We just had research data on that last week, but the real number is 52% of active workers. So if you're looking at within your organization, there's more than 1 out of 2 people that are looking to switch position. Main reason is salary, by the way. Only 30% of available candidates are active. So they have a resume ready. They're actually looking at job boards and LinkedIn corporate pages and websites to apply for jobs. 70% of the total talent pool that's available is a passive candidate. And lastly, companies spend more than $200 billion on the job market every single year. So that's not a small number. That's in the US alone, by the way. So it's a huge market. I've worked at Randstad and it's been a while, maybe 15 years. And when we look at the recruitment process, we have new tools, but the actual recruitment process hasn't changed much. As Rachel was stating, a lot of those hours are spent doing manual tasks. So the reason behind Stent is to actually automate parts of these tasks and use AI to be faster and save time on the, analyzing a resume could take several minutes and for an AI, it takes a couple of seconds. So it makes sense to use AI in small specific key points. So that's the latest research data. So that's how people currently find jobs. Referral from a friend or colleague is still the main reason why someone would find a job. And after that would be online job boards, company websites, other social media network. LinkedIn is actually fifth, 7%, which is kind of deceiving when you look at it, because we spend so many time and efforts and money on LinkedIn, but we're not generating the kind of results. Because when you're looking at where people are actually planning to look for the next job, LinkedIn is second at 23%. So there's a big discrepancy between the 7% that actually find a job on LinkedIn and 23% that expect to find a job on LinkedIn. So we must do better using LinkedIn. But also, if you look at the online job boards and other methods, it tends to be pretty straightforward in terms of the mechanisms they use to find a job. So at Stent, we try to act on these three levels, which we find are super important for organization. First of all is a smart AI-driven process. Speed in sourcing, as Martin was stating, is of utmost importance. Could mean the difference between hiring that great candidate you were looking for or losing him to a competitor. And AI can mostly speed up processes in terms of finding, matching, and outreach to potential candidates. The second and also very important fact is that most companies internally don't have the data to be really independent from the large 5 biggest companies that own the data. So Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, or Alphabet. They own all the data and they sell it to you at a premium. Even job boards will sell you resumes and they'll sell you information about a candidate. And obviously external recruitment firms would charge a premium for the data they collect and the candidates they have in their database. So what we like to think at Stent is that it's time for companies to really govern their data and free themselves from the external dependencies that cost them, $200 billion a year. And lastly, it's innovation, ease of use. So despite all the new tech tools that have been available on the market, sourcing and hiring has never been, the sourcing and hiring process has never been longer. It's actually 30% longer than it used to be 10 years ago. Competitiveness of market is one of the factors, but also it takes time to implement some of these tools. I've heard people implementing ATSs taking over 2 years to fully implement an ATS. So what we try to do at Stent is really have something that's rapidly usable and that you can scale up to actually the size of your organization and the number of employees you have to both do the sourcing and use our content management tool to do the employer branding and employee advocacy part. So really the HR sector for Stent revolves around 2 distinct modules. The first one is talent module. The talent module, if I can define it in a small sentence, it's an AI recruitment tool, kind of like a headhunter, using AI that will seek out candidates, that will find the best data available for you, that will rank those candidates matching the analysis of a job description. So we use natural language processing to analyze all the skill sets required and the level of experience and job titles. And then we'll rank candidates based on their matching for a specific job description. And then we do outreach methods using the talent module to verify levels of interest of potential candidates. The second part is the influence module. So it's designed around employee advocacy, which is fairly new in North America, but it's standardly used mostly in European countries, is to use your best assets within your organization, your employees, to really share the message about your employer brand, about your job postings, about your environment, so that you gain more traffic, more awareness, and you generate more clicks. It's really on an H2H kind of vision where humans speak to humans instead of logos trying to hire people for their companies. It makes it much more on an even keel in terms of a conversation or relationship. And it converts 7 times more than paid ads.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Alex, but I think it's the most underrated tactic that is used right now by companies for marketing and also for recruiting.
Yeah, it's grossly underused. And when you think about that, employees are 10 times more connected than a company page would be, especially on LinkedIn. And they generate 4 times the engagement. Using employee advocacy would generate, campaigns that will generate 40 times the results and visibility.
But it's long. It's a long process. It's a long process
to
ensure that you have employee advocacy and you have inertia, and so it's long to generate results. But it's huge. It's incredible. Anyway,
a lot of the companies spend the last few years working on their employer branding, and it's just that they don't have the motor to keep it running and making sure that they get in front of those people. And at Stent, we're able to onboard thousands of employees on our platform using a simple QR code or a unique link. And then once they download our app that's available on the App Store and Google Play Store, they'll get populated in your workspace, and you're then ready to share content to them that they can then share using 2 clicks. So it's really a simple onboarding. When I talked about innovation and ease of use, having worked at Apple, I know that it's kind of like the second page on a Google search page. If you're on the second page, you're in the cemetery. Same thing if it's any more work to share content, then employees just won't do it, and you'll miss out on a great opportunity. But let's get back to the talent module. So the talent module is to source up to twice as fast looking for candidates, because we basically use AI and our automation processes to speed up all those tasks, so that the experts, the talent acquisition experts, are left to do what they're best at, which is interview candidates and validate culture fit and company fit and a few specific role tasks, and then make sure that the person is a perfect fit. But generating interest shouldn't be something that takes 80% of your time during a week. If we look at the influence module, so looking back at the employee advocacy part, it's using your employees to become brand ambassadors or subject matter experts for your brand. And when we look at the stats, according to Everyone's Social, if you have 1,000 employees that share content on a regular period on social media, it's worth $1.9 million in ad value. So the ROI is pretty simple to tab. And obviously at Stent, we have live dashboards that will give you just how much perceived ad value you've reached using employee advocacy. So it's really telling. It's really nice to show your bosses as well, to know that, and we're a small company. We're about 23 people, and there's 14 ambassadors that share content on a regular basis. And just last year alone, we generated over $150,000 US dollars in visibility that I didn't have to pay LinkedIn, or I didn't have to pay Google or Facebook to generate that awareness, basically organic. And when you think that organic converts 7 times more than paid ads, it's a very easy discussion to have. And right now, only 3% of employees, and if you're asking, is employee advocacy a big thing on the market right now? The fact is, only 3% of employees actually share content about their companies on a regular basis, job postings, employer branding content, and other content. And they're responsible for 30% of the traffic generated. So we base that off the fact that 3%, we want to get up to 50, 60, 70%. To make sure that we generate as much awareness as possible. Obviously, we're talking white collar here. If you have a hybrid workforce where you have white collars and blue collars, don't expect those blue collars to become champions of the brand, because they have other stuff. And as Martin said, they view their job as a commodity. But white collars, they have other expectations about their job. They want to accomplish themselves. They want to grow within their careers and find opportunities and have a clear career path. So being an ambassador for them is more of a natural, and it's actually a big plus and a very reasonable ask of them to participate. And even if you feel that your workforce might not participate, we've developed with one of our clients, Alethea, a large IT company, a rewards program where we can give back incentives. So based on the number of clicks or the number of views generated according to industry standards, instead of paying, again, those 5 big companies that sell you ads, you can give back to your employees and get the same visibility and then convert 7 times more.
Yeah.
So when we look at our process at Stent, it's basically we source data from all over the place. Could be your ATS, your candidate relationship manager, could be an Excel sheet of an open house you made. We even target on GitHub. We have LinkedIn as a source. If you have a recruiter license or a sales navigator license, we can tap on your searches and use it as a base to outreach to candidates. We also have our own internal database of over 600 million profiles. So you can search within our own database. And then what we'll do is we'll analyze all that data, find the best pool of candidates possible based on a job description that you've imported in Stent. And then we'll do ranking based on criteria such as location, skills, and seniority. We'll rank candidates. And then we'll find whoever in your company is connected to that potential candidate. So let's say Jean-Baptiste is connected to Martin, who's an ideal fit for my company. What we'll do is I'll send Jean-Baptiste a message. Could you please share Martin this job description? And then we'll analyze the results. And if he gets hired, and we'll be able to track it within an ATS or candidate relationship manager, you can give them a referral program, so a referral reward. So instead of asking Jean-Baptiste to potentially think about an ideal candidate, and again, no, referrals phase 1 is basically goodwill of the people and how much they're interested in the rewards program. It's still 28% on average of all hires within a company. So imagine if you can use AI to analyze all the first degree connections that your employees have on LinkedIn, find ideal candidates, and then ask them to outreach to those potential candidates. Then you have referral programs that will not only be 28% of your referral, your total hires per year, but it'll be, maybe 40, 50% of those referrals, and then you can still give the referral reward as a thank you for participating in the program.
So you make referral relevant, right, for each
exactly
employee. So it's like nudge, you suggest me to do something because there is a link with Martin, so I will be probably more willing to share and then to contact Martin. Well, that's
exactly, and and that's what we like to call referral 2.0. So again, like I said, there have not been a lot of changes in the recruitment processes over the years, and referral programs is obviously a part of that. You can see banners on the highway of people trying to say they're hiring and they're giving you a bonus if you apply, but again, using AI, we're able to find ideal candidates within our employees' networks without even having to build an audience or reach out. But if we do have to build an audience, we'll do it with Stent as well. So if the ideal candidate is not connected, then the talent acquisition manager will connect and then have a conversation with that potential candidate and then score that intention. And just like iCIMS was doing with multiple pointing systems, we have a scoring lead system where we can find the ideal candidates, but also see if they're interested in the job position. So once the new employee is hired, we'll be able to have them participate in the sharing content and broadcast on their favorite channels. So that's basically the process. What I wanted to show you is a little preview of our new implementation of ChatGPT. So whether you have a job description or not, you can ask ChatGPT to create a job description for you. If you don't, let's say in this case, I have a job description, I can import it in Stent. Once it's imported, AI will analyze the job description and automatically do the targeting and ranking. And it'll prepare the outreach message, which you can edit. So if you don't feel comfortable about GPT, sending out message without your approval, our app will let you edit all the messages that are sent out, and you'll have to approve the messages. But we have a fully conversational engine where the ChatGPT can converse with the ideal candidate up until the meeting is generated, and it's all based on the intent. So the talent acquisition manager will say, am I trying to get interviews? Am I trying to generate clicks to my job description? Am I trying to invite people to a webinar or an open house or an event? Or am I just building my CV database? Again, building your candidate database is really important if you want in the long run to have a perennial recruitment strategy. Then you'll enter the link. You'll even will suggest the tonality of the messages. So it might be more of a casual hire. Let's say it's more of an internship or less experience. Could be more professional if you're headhunting for executives. Could be more technical if you're trying to outreach to developers, and humorous if it's your kind of thing. It can even make jobs, and we've had fun using that particular tone. But again, you select the tonality and the intent, and once that is done, it'll generate the campaign, all the targeting, all the messages. You just click on start campaign, and it'll launch the recruitment
So
campaign.
we will always be inspired, and we will be always with the right message. And you can manage also the temperature with ChatGPT. So you will have a bold or a classic, or more classic job description and messages. Really interesting. Really interesting.
What we're trying to do is helping talent acquisition managers, with the copywriting and writing those messages and speeding up those processes. So, because speed is key, but obviously we're still giving them control. So it's about using AI for the benefit of humans and not the other way around. We try to simplify those asks. So obviously, this is a bit of our results for an IT company. We hired 13 candidates. So we made initially 5 quality hires using the talent module, but using the employee advocacy module, we found within those 5 hires, 4 additional hires that we then subsequently reached out to and ended up hiring 9 people in a matter of a couple months. And the next business case is BRP. And one of the quotes I prefer, obviously they made 6 successful hires with us. But my favorite phrase is no need to go to Indeed anymore, because obviously all the data is there and the recruitment process is faster and it's more in line with conversational. So again, just trying to innovate and change the methods we use to hire white collars. So all in all, that's it. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if I'm not already connected with you, since there's a lot of people from Canada. I already have like 25,000 connections, but if you're not connected, please connect with me on LinkedIn and we can continue the conversation.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being there, Rachel. Thank you from Montreal to San Francisco. Thank you, Martin, also, and Alex. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask our speakers, and they will be pleased to answer. You will receive the presentation this afternoon with a survey. And thank you again for being there and attending this event. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.